Hey, how's it going, guys? This is the third episode of Kuhl's Comic Book Basement, and I'm your host, Jason Kuhl, as you should know by now. This weekend was the 4th annual Project ComicCon that was done by Newcastle Comics, and if you didn't show up, you missed out on a whole lot. And I also sent Deadpool over there to get some interviews. We'll see how he did here in a moment. I just want to show this off real quick. I got this from Diamond Toy Selection. Diamond's responsible for sending out the weekly comics and all that. And they do the toys. This is the Punisher figure I got. He's got that guy on the pinball machine. And imagine the guy just right out all his bosses and told Punisher everything he needs to know. He was like, you won't let me go now? And Punisher was like, yeah, I'm just going to stick this grenade in your mouth and literally blow you in half. So, and it's really cool because it's also got, as you can see, it's a Spider-Man pinball machine. And it got the window of the bar sign of the bar they're in. And it's really cool. This Venom action figures also comes from Diamond Toy Selection. And they come up with the best action figures because, like I said, they're responsible for mailing out the weekly comics that come out every Wednesday. So, if you want to get a good action figure just for show, Diamond Toy Selection is the way to go. Alright, well, back to the matter at hand. Like I said, it was this weekend's Project ComicCon, and George Perez and Fabian Nicieza was there, who's the creator of Deadpool, and also Tabitha Darling and Lars, who are cosplay models up there, and there's a lot of other writers and artists, and everyone has had a good time. Also got George Perez to sign my Teen Titans comic book, which he created. It's the new Teen Titans, by the way. I guess back in the 80s when they were new. And it's the team of Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Wonder Girl, and Raven. Teen Titans is basically all the sidekicks teamed up to do the Battle Evil. So we're going to take a look what happened at Project ComicCon and what Deadpool did, and then he will do an interview, and there's also he'll do an interview with his co-creator Fabian Nicieza. Now Fabian says he's just the co-creator of Deadpool, but from what I heard, the artist came up with the way he looked like, and how it's basically the same guy from DC, who I've been telling you about, Deathstroke. But basically, from what I hear, from where Fabian tells me, he's the one who came up with all the ideas. So I wouldn't actually say he's co-creator. I would say he's basically the creator. Anywho, so here we're going to take a look of that interview also, and the interview I did with Tabitha and Lars, who are really two nice ladies, and we'll take a look at that here right now. Everybody, it's Deadpool here. I'm here on Jason's stupid show, Kuhl's Comic Book Basement, and today we got Fabian Nate. How do you say your last name?
How do you say my last name?
Well, how about I just call you Nick? Is that okay?
No, it's not.
Okay, well, Nick, how did you get your start?
How about if you call me sir? Sir. Okay, I can call you Sir. Sir Fabian.
Sir Fabian is actually good.
Okay.
You landed on it.
How'd you get your start, Sir Fabian?
I was born, and I grew up.
How'd you get your start?
In comics?
Oh, yes,
okay,
sir.
I'm sorry. I got a job at Marvel Comics in 1985. Do the math, that was a long time ago. And I started writing comics in 1987. You don't have enough fingers. And I started writing Deadpool when I first created him.
Yes, tell me how you made me so awesome.
I made you so awesome by putting ridiculous words in your mouth and making you a bit of an imbecile. And that, my friend, is how you became popular, by being stupid.
Well, I wouldn't totally agree with that. But, like, yeah, sometimes I have my moments.
You have many moments.
Yeah, I'll say so.
You're having a moment right now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Tell me, how was the idea of me knowing about the fourth dimension? Did that come to you, or did someone else?
I was writing Cable Deadpool, and honestly, it started with the introduction page. Marvel wanted all of us to do recap pages explaining what went on in the issue before. And I thought it would be more fun if Deadpool did it as a dialogue with the readers. And then he started bringing in other characters who were appearing in the book to appear on the introduction page with him. And he talked to them as if he understood he was explaining comic book story, and the other characters had no clue what he was talking about. So it was funny, and I tried to keep most of it to the introduction page. Once in a while I did it in the book itself, but not that often.
Okay. Tell me about what it was like working on X-Force series.
Working on X-Force was fun a lot of times. Sometimes it was a little frustrating, especially when we first started, because we were always under a deadline pressure to put out a monthly book. There was a lot of changes happening at Marvel back then. That was when Rob Liefeld and the other artists were leaving to form Image, so we needed to kind of restart ourselves in a lot of ways after the first year of the book by bringing in other artists. Luckily, that meant Greg Capullo, who was a fantastic artist and did a great job drawing you. He gave you a lot more muscle mass than you currently have.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I want to work out, but then I just eat a taco and I fall asleep.
That's understandable. I get it. Or several tacos, whichever the case may be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so when you were doing X-Force, did you, get arguments with the other creators and, no, we need to do Cable this way. No.
No.
Oh,
No,
yeah?
people tend to resolve their problems between each other in civilized society, usually through conversation and compromise, not through gunfire and swords. Just so you know.
Well, if that's how you like to solve your problems, mine, I'm always about the blade.
I understand. That's good. It's gotten you far so far. You are lonely. You are alone. You are friendless. And don't have
I don't know about friendless. I got 2 million Facebook likes. Oh yeah, baby. But let's talk about me. Let's talk about New Warriors. How'd you like doing that? Did you have? Was it hard?
I love doing New Warriors. It was a lot of fun. Who was your favorite New Warrior? I have a feeling I know who, but who was your favorite New Warrior?
I think it's the guy with the gun and.
The guy with the gun, Night Thrasher.
Oh yeah, Night Thrasher.
I thought for sure you were going to say Marvel Boy because he had nice tights.
Oh, no one has better tights than me.
Awkward pause.
No, he doesn't need to know about that. What? Oh, I wasn't talking about it.
I understand. No, I know.
So you got anything new you working on right now?
No, actually I've been kind of out of comics for the most part for the last several years. I do a lot of stuff with Hollywood studios and video game companies and TV studios, a lot of work for them. So comics have been just a real small part of what I've done for the last 10 years. Since Cable Deadpool, actually, after I stopped writing that.
Oh, really?
Concentrating on other stuff. After writing you and Cable together in a book for 4 years, that was the tops. That was the pinnacle. How could I top that? I decided to not even bother trying.
No, you can't top Deadpool. He's the awesomest of awesome.
I did. I wrote Tim Drake, Red Robin, who's more awesome.
Oh, really?
He's much more awesome than you. He's much more awesome than you.
I'll have to talk to him about that.
He was 14 years old, and he figured out Batman's secret identity. What were you doing at 14 years old that didn't involve a Good Housekeeping magazine and your right hand?
Yeah.
And your left.
Sir, you got me there. I'm lost for words.
Which is fascinating because you wouldn't be if I were writing your words. I told you it was going to be an ass kicking. I told you.
Hey, anyone's going to do the ass kicking is going to be me, okay?
I understand.
All right. So, all right. So right now you're just doing stuff with your kids. I understand. And you're just doing Comic-Cons, anything like this, or?
Not really. No. This is the first convention I've done in 2 years, and I should do more because then I get to meet wonderful people like you, Deadpool.
Okay.
But I don't do cons that much anymore. I'm an old man now, Deadpool, so I don't have the energy to travel all over the country and go to conventions. I did write a 5-page story for Marvel. It's going to come out in October, which is the X-Men's 50th anniversary issue, which I'm pretty sure you're not appearing in because you're not an X-Men.
Oh yeah, well we're just going to call Marvel about that right now.
You should. Or you should have done this interview wearing the Marvel Girl costume and pretend that you were an X-Men like you've done so many times in the past.
Can't even find my phone.
Why? I told you this earlier. Why did Rob Liefeld give you pouches if it wasn't to keep your cell phone in?
I put my hot sauce, my tacos in my pouches.
Okay.
That's why I don't got any room for any more stuff.
Did he lose his phone? How can a guy with 50 pouches on his belt lose his cell phone? Deadpool mon ami.
Oh
so
yeah.
imbécile.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about my buddy Cable. Did he get your hands on creating him? I heard.
Not really, no. Rob Liefeld created him with Louise Simonson. I've written probably more of him than anyone else, but I didn't actually originally create him. I will say, fostered him along the way.
What was it like working with Rob?
It was cool. Rob was fun. He was a crazy young guy back then. I was a young guy too, not as young as he was. He had a tremendous amount of energy. Sometimes he was a little unfocused, kind of like you. But when he did put his attention to it, he was excellent, which you're not capable of doing.
Oh yeah, we was having an interview. I'm sorry.
Prevents you from being excellent.
No, I'm always awesome as awesome can be. So yes, well, I just wanted to thank you for creating me.
I want to thank you for being created.
And thanks for coming to St. Louis, Sir Fabian.
You're very welcome. How do you pronounce my last name again?
It's Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
There you go. Good job, Deadpool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And don't forget you eat your daily taco.
I won't.
It keeps the doctor away.